Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Wisconsin.
Beautiful night for baseball here at Miller Park, and it's a new day, a new game, a new opponent as the Brewers welcome in the Houston Astros to beautiful Miller Park tonight. On the mound for game one, Bud Norris and Marco Estrada. Estrada is making his 12th start and still looking to notch that first victory of the 2012 season. The Astros just snapped the 12-game skid, but come in with one of the worst road records in nearly 90 years in baseball, just 10-41. But one of those wins a win here earlier this season. It's been a good week for the Brewers' second baseman, Ricky Weeks. A 5-game stretch where he is hitting at a .556 clip. He scored 3 runs, showing some power with a couple of home runs and 4 RBIs as well. It'd be good to see Ricky Weeks keep that up. Hi, everybody. Our broadcast continues for Brewer Baseball here in Fox Sports Wisconsin alongside Davey Nelson. I am Craig Kashan, and the Brewers will be without Ryan Braun here tonight. Has blisters that are pretty sore on his hands, so he's hoping to get one day off to help ease that pain and get back in the game for Tuesday. But the Brewers slugging some big-time home runs as of late. 4 in yesterday's loss. And, Davey, they're still at the top of the pack of the National League.
Who would have thought that,
yeah.
though? I mean, everybody was saying, oh, did they lose Prince Fielder? And, they're not going to hit the home run. Well, they have. I mean, you look at Corey Hart, Ricky Weeks, Ryan Braun, Aramis Romero. Just go down the line. Carlos Gomez was nice. So they've been able to use the long ball. But unfortunately, the bullpen has been the Achilles heel. But this ball club lives and dies by the home run.
And we'll have more news on the bullpen and hope the Brewers can supply some home run power here tonight against the Astros. You mentioned Carlos Gomez. Go Gomez, a nickname that fits the Brewers center fielder in more ways than one. B.A. and Rock talk Player of the Week honors. You bet, when they come back here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Toyota, when you choose Toyota, you get a lot for less. Toyota. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And a beautiful Monday for baseball in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Back at Miller Park, starts a 3-game series with the Astros, and there's Carlos Gomez. You see his season numbers, 248 average, 9 homers, 28 runs batted in, but it was his effort last week that earned him the Player of the Week in the National League. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us this evening as we get set for Game 1 of a 3-game series with the Houston Astros. Carlos Gomez starting to become a story now, Rocky. He has more than a third of his RBIs for the season in 1 week, and he and Drew Stubbs the co-Player of the Week.
And one of the reasons why the Brewers have done so well defensively in the last week. Carlos Gomez, if you remember, coming out of spring training, was really hitting the baseball well, hitting about 280. Then he went on the disabled list. His playing time really cut short. But as of late, he has been really swinging the bat well, making things happen on the bases, and he's been able to find that home run stroke. 4 home runs, 10 RBIs. Look at the slugging percentage for Gomez. And in the last week, hitting almost 350, just what Ron Renicky has needed at the top of the batting order.
Gomez is back in the starting lineup tonight. The first time in his career he's been a Player of the Week. Marco Estrada, he's looking for number 1. He's winless on the year. Pitching well, however. He'll match up against the Astros. Game 1 of 3 coming up next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. As we're set for Game 1 against the Houston Astros. A struggling team coming in. The Astros just snapped a 12-game losing streak with a victory yesterday. They traded away most of their recognizable names. 5 trades in all that have landed the Astros 13 prospects. Brad Mills just trying to keep the pieces together as best he can. He does have an all-star at second base in Jose Altuve, and he leads off for Brad Mills' Astros. Marwin Gonzalez, the switch hitter, bats second. Steve Pearson, the 3-hole. In the middle of the order, it's Brad Wallace, J.D. Martinez, and Scott Moore, with Carlos Corcoran, the former Brewer, Jordan Schaefer in center field, and Bud Norris rounding it out. That is the Piggly Wiggly Astros batting order, and that's the lineup that will face Marco Estrada.
Yeah, looking for a bounce back. He got roughed up against the Phillies in Philadelphia. 4 innings is all. 8 hits, 5 runs. He did not allow a home run. That's been an issue for Mark. You see the 15 home runs, 14 walks, 75 strikeouts. Very good strikeout to walk ratio for Marco.
Here are the Brewers defensively behind Estrada tonight. Nigel Morgan starts for Ryan Braun in left field. Gomez in center with Aoki in right. An infield of Ramirez, Easteris, Weeks, and Hart. Lucroy back behind the plate. Menard's Brewers defense, and the game's first pitch on the way. High and inside, and away we go from Miller Park. And no Ryan Braun today. Blisters on his hand, the reason he is out of the lineup. Hopes to be back in there tomorrow. Not expected to be serious, but having a tough time swinging the bat. Tried to play through it, and you could tell something wasn't quite right with Ryan Braun at the plate the last 2 days.
Yeah, he just wasn't swinging the bat like you know Ryan can. He said he had a tough time gripping that bat, and as a result, he gets tonight off.
Brewers coming off a disappointing series against the Nationals. They let one get away yesterday. An 11-10 Washington win, dropping 3 out of 4 to the first place Nationals. And the Brewers are 11 games under 500, their lowest ebb of the season at 45-56. The Astros are 35-68. They are on their way to another 100 loss season, but they're trying to build something for the future, for the long term, as they've traded away most of their stars and traded away some big payroll in the process. They have eliminated the top 5 highest paid players on their roster.
Yeah, they have liquidated just about every one of their household names, and Altuve lets that one go by. Looked pretty good. Looked like Lucroy thought it was strike 3.
Altuve to the right side, a base hit. One of the few bright spots for this Astros team, a first-year All-Star this year, Jose Altuve. And he singles to right to start it tonight. 90 degrees. It's a warm Monday night in Milwaukee. Clear skies up above, and a breeze that's coming in, whipping through the ballpark, and there's a bit of a jet stream out to right center. Mark Wagner is the home plate umpire. Brian Knight, Wally Bell, and Mike Winters on the bases. Winters, the third base umpire, is the crew chief. A man on to start it for Marwin Gonzalez, the Astros shortstop. Jed Lowry, their everyday shortstop, is injured. So even some of the names that remain unable to post for Houston. They started their trading spree on the 4th of July, and you might remember the Miami Marlins were in Milwaukee at the time. And it started with Carlos Lee being traded from Houston to Miami, and that started a trading frenzy. They had a huge trade with the Blue Jays that involved 10 players. Astros traded 3 away and received 7 back in return.
And it actually started a couple of years ago, trading away Lance Berkman and Roy Oswalt. It continued last year, and for the last 3 years they've been getting rid of everybody that's making any kind of money. A lot of changes for the Astros, and they're going to change leagues next year. Tough way to go into the American League West with a lot of young players, unproven.
Can you recognize these Astros will be the question for this 3-game series. Brad Mills, former bench coach with the Boston Red Sox under Terry Francona, took over the Astros 3 years ago. His contract expires at the end of the season. A lot of questions about Mills, and will he return as the Astros skipper next year? They'll have a new look next season, and as Rock mentioned, a new division and a new league.
Brad Mills is a guy that has a reputation of a manager that's pretty good with young players, kind of a teaching manager. Coaching staff to go along with it. It's going to be a few years before the Astros start to make some noise. See what they do.
0-2 the count on Gonzalez. Little jam shot into left field. That is Nigel Morgan who makes a catch. And there's the first out for Marco Estrada tonight. So the Astros started with the Carlos Lee trade, and then the big deal with the Toronto Blue Jays that included Jay Happ and Brandon Lyon. Brett Myers went to the White Sox on the 21st, and then the Wandy Rodriguez trade Could be a big one for the Pirates. They pick up an established starting pitcher. Most recently, as of yesterday, Chris Johnson traded to the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Not much left to do for the Astros. Trading deadline ends, or is tomorrow, the 31st. Some wonder what the Brewers are going to do at the trading deadline. Is there going to be more? Isn't there? Who knows?
As Doug Melvin says, his phone is ringing, and he will be taking calls. Altuve takes off. Lucroy's throw to second is late. It's into center field. Altuve on his way to third. So a stolen base and an error. And the Astros put a runner at third base with one away.
Man, that was a case where Lucroy had a shot to get Altuve at second base. Throw sails on Ricky Weeks. Watch the way it fades into center field. Altuve gets right up and gets a third. Good throw, and he gets him. 19 for 25 in stolen base attempts for Jose Altuve.
And now a fly ball to center. Fairly shallow. Gomez has a great arm. Altuve can run. He tags. A throw to the plate. Late, and Altuve scores. The Astros take advantage of the error as Steve Pearce drives in the first run of the ball game on a sacrifice fly. Not even the great throwing arm of Carlos Gomez could cut down Altuve here.
Yeah, Pearce, the former Pittsburgh Pirate, he gets that one, about average depth into center field. Gomez does what he can, but Altuve runs well.
So 1-0 Houston, 2 outs, and Wallace on the first pitch. Sends one high in the air to left. Morgan is under it, and that's that in the first. But the Astros score an unearned run. 1-0 Houston. The Brew Crew coming up. Smith, Stan Kiles, the bullpen coach this morning. They're a longtime member of the organization. The Brewers trying to turn the page on what has been a very disappointing bullpen performance here lately and really all season. Renick's batting order today looks like this. It's Aoki, Gomez, and Ramirez. And then Corey Hart, Ricky Weeks, Jonathan Lucroy in the middle with Nigel Morgan, Cesar Izturis, and Marco Estrada. No Ryan Braun in the batting order today. And a pretty good pitcher on the mound who is having a hard time putting his name in the win column. Bud Norris, his 19th start of the season.
Yeah, he started very well. It's been the tale of 2 seasons for Norris this year. 5-1 to start and 0-7 since. He's 4-3 with a 4.50 ERA and 9 starts against Milwaukee. 1-1 this year.
And defensively for the Astros, brought to you by Menards with Martinez, Schaefer, and Pierce. Infield of Scott Moore, Marwin Gonzalez, Jose Altuve, and Brett Wallace, and Carlos Corcoran doing the catching. Astros are without Jason Castro as well, their starting catcher. right knee effusion, Rock. The swelling on his right knee.
Yeah.
Jed Lowry is out with a sprained ankle. So 2 starters are out. As Aoki lifts one down the left field line, foul territory. Gonzalez hauls it in for the out, one away.
Not much worse for a catcher than a bad knee. So Castro out for a while.
Did you ever go on the DL for a right knee effusion?
I don't know. I had a bad knee, but I don't know what they didn't call it that. Most of my DL time was elbow related.
No plantar fasciitis?
No. I had it, but I didn't go on the DL for it. Let's put it this way, it didn't slow me down.
Here's Carlos Gomez, National League Co-Player of the Week. He and Drew Stubbs of the Cincinnati Reds, 2 center fielders. 10 RBIs for the week for Gomez. Has 28 RBIs for the season. What a week it was for him. He and Stubbs winning that award for the first time in their respective careers. Yeah, Rock, you mentioned it in the open, but the playing time might be the first reason why Gomez has had the success. He's been given a lot of opportunities. He's such a tremendous athlete. But as he matures, starts to learn his strike zone a little bit, he's still a free swinger, but he's found a little something with his power stroke lately.
And because he's a free swinger, it really takes a lot of at-bats. You got to get him in there just about every day to be able to be productive. And he certainly was in yesterday's ball game. Carlos Gomez able to wade back at a breaking pitch and knock it out of here to center field. His 4th home run this week. You know what he can do with his wheels. He's a tremendous center fielder.
Broken bat, bouncer over to short. Gonzalez, long throw in time to get the speedy Gomez. 2 gone in the inning. And the numbers on Bud Norris this season. His first 5 starts in his career against the Brewers, he was lights out. 3 wins in those 5 starts. Spectacular ERA. It's been a different story, though, in his last 4.
Yeah, he went through a stretch of 3 starts against the Brewers where he gave up 18 runs. And those numbers, that 7 earned run average, included giving up 1 run in 7 innings in his last start against the Brewers in Houston. He pitched well.
Norris has good stuff. Has a mid-90s fastball, a sharp slider. Many feel he could trend towards a closer at some point. Astros need him in the starting rotation, but he has 2 plus pitches, as they say, and the 2 pitches that have made a lot of successful closers in the past, a fastball and a slider. It was that fastball and it just missed.
Yeah, when he has that slider working, he could be tough, which he did have working his last time out.
Ball and 2 strikes on Aramis Ramirez. Ramirez was scratched from the starting lineup yesterday. He's been nursing a sore wrist. He did pinch hit in yesterday's game, and he was intentionally walked. And down he goes. There's that slider from Bud Norris. A quick bottom of the first. The Brewers go in order.
top two. Marco told me sometimes he has outings where he puts up a lot of zeros, but then he has one bad inning that could change the game. And Marco says sometimes that's because when he's cruising along, he'll lose focus for a split second, and it cost him. And then if he gives up that big hit, he says he snaps right back into his rhythm. Marcus told me he'd love to get his first win of the season tonight, but Marco says as long as he gives his team a chance to win, he's satisfied, guys.
All right, thanks, Mark. And he's had some opportunities at that victory. First ball swinging, J.D. Martinez for out number one. He's not pitching like a guy who is winless at this point, but that's the way things have gone for the Brew Crew lately.
Yeah, he got roughed up a little bit his last time out at Philadelphia. He gave up 5 runs in 4 innings. Did not allow a home run in that start, but Marco has given up home runs in 9 of 11 starts, a lot of them solo shots. But as Mark was talking about, the big inning and the home run has been his nemesis.
Here's Scott Moore for the Astros. He's the man who replaced Chris Johnson, who was traded to the Diamondbacks yesterday. And Moore takes strike one. Moore homered against the Brewers in Houston. Had a home run off Giovanni Gallardo in the last series. Been a power hitter, and you can see he swings out of his shoes.
Yes, he does. Another one of those guys when he gets some playing time, he can hit some homers. We saw it in Houston. A little slippery in that batter's box.
Not enough tackiness in the box. There's a little different material. They don't water that area of the box. That's why you see the different color.
I was just kidding about the slipperiness. It's not slippery down there. He just had a wild hack.
What is that? Diamond dry they put in there or something? It's not the regular dirt, is it, Rock?
It's not diamond dry, no.
Some kind of clay material or something.
It's packed down clay down on the bottom, and I think they maybe sprinkle something on there. You know what? That might be our instructional tonight. I might go down there and ask Justin, head groundskeeper.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing from Justin. He does a great job with this.
Yes, he does.
Field. Not an easy task.
The grass has looked good all year.
Best grass in the big leagues. And we've seen them all. 2-2 pitch, and that one missed a little up.
Second time Lucroy thought he had strike 3. Mike Wagner a little tight back there tonight.
Estrada works in a hurry, always ready to go. His fielders love that about him. And the same case for Bud Norris as well. So if these two pitchers are on their game tonight, this one could move along here. The Astros have taken a pretty aggressive approach, and you'd expect that from a young team. A lot of first pitch swinging against Estrada, who has a book on him that is a strike thrower. That one's ripped to left field. And Scott Moore with the second Astros hit, a 1-out single. Good piece of hitting there.
Hey, Thursday, August 16th is a Time Warner Cable Customer Appreciation Game. Bring last month's Time Warner Cable billing statement to Miller Park for a buy one get one free Terrace ticket offer. That's the second time Lucroy thought he had strike 3 and a hitter would go on to get a base hit. Give him an extra swing and these guys will make you pay.
That was Altuve in the first inning. He would later steal second, reach third on an error, and score on a sac fly. An unearned run against Estrada. Carlos Corcoran, a former Brewer, spent some time in the Brewers minor league system and had a brief stint in the big leagues with Milwaukee. I'll never forget his first major league hit. It was against Cincinnati, and it was against the Reds shortstop, Paul Janisch. That was Corcoran's first big league hit in a blowout game.
I bet he doesn't tell that story, that it was a blowout and the shortstop gave up his first hit.
Janisch has a good arm. He was bringing the heat that day.
I know. Still, I don't think he tells that story back at home.
I'm just reporting the facts. But it's a moment he'll never forget.
Right.
was one of the great comedy bits of the season as well. On the bus back to the hotel, Bob Uecker occupies the front left seat, and he sits there by himself. Nobody ever sits in that seat. Everybody knows the drill. That's Ueck's seat. He's last on the bus, and then the bus leaves. Well, Corcoran came on, and all the players said, "No, sit here. You got a hit. You get to sit up front." He had no idea. So he thought because he was kind of the star and was in the shining moment of the game that he got to sit in the front seat on the bus, which means you get out of the bus first and you get on the elevator first and you're in your room first.
Right.
So he sat there, and here comes Uecker. And then everybody had a big laugh, and Uecker let him sit there, and those two rode together all the way back that 2-minute drive back to the hotel.
5 blocks.
That was great.
You told that story perfectly, by the way. I was waiting for you to mess up, but you didn't.
Now the foul ball helped. Corcoran is a switch hitter. He's 3 for 6 from the right side. 6 hits and 16 at bats as a left-handed hitter, replacing the injured Jason Castro. There's a strike called. 3-2. Brewers set up to turn 2. Runner takes off, swing and a miss, throw to second, right on the bag. Out is the call. A strike him out, throw him out, double play. As Lucroy cuts down Scott Moore. Estrada picks up his first strikeout, and Estrada is out of the inning. Strike him out, throw him out, double play to end the second. And now the Brewers coming up. Lucroy will hit in this inning. Bumped up a notch in the batting order in the absence of Ryan Braun. Corey Hart in the cleanup spot here tonight, and he'll lead off. Hart, Weeks, and Lucroy. Norris, a quick first inning with a strikeout. Struck out Aramis Ramirez. Corey Hart with 19 home runs for the season. Had 4 hits yesterday. Hart homered off Tyler Clippard in the 11th inning, brought the Brewers within a run. But that's all they would get. Lost yesterday's game 11-10. Hart raising his batting average to .267 with those 4 hits yesterday. Was 4 for 5 at the plate. Scored 3 runs.
The Brewers have really been swinging the bats well. And it's really a shame that they haven't been able to put together a good stretch of wins because their offense has been pretty good. And Corey Hart's had very good success against Bud Norris in his career. Corey Hart, Ramos Ramirez both have had pretty good numbers along with Nigel Morgan. So a third of the Brewers lineup have hit Bud Norris pretty well.
Hart is 5 for 12 lifetime against Bud Norris with 2 homers. Walked a couple of times. Norris has struck him out 3 times. He and Adam LaRoche lead first baseman in home runs, although a number of those came as an outfielder. But without Joey Votto and of course Prince Fielder and Albert Pujols in the American League now, I think there's a little bit of a window at first base. Joey Votto is making a push at an MVP again this year. He'll be back soon from knee surgery. He's already returned to baseball drills. Expected to miss about a month, and he's 2.5 weeks into it.
Amazing how quickly they come back after those surgeries.
Wow. That was the same surgery that Corey Hart had this spring, the meniscus tear. Apparently it's an easy fix.
Yeah.
But I think as you start looking to the future with Corey Hart and the way he's played first base, he made a statement the other day that he would like to finish his career here if possible. He really enjoys playing in Milwaukee and hopes to sign an extension. His contract is up after next season as he swings and misses. Second strikeout for Bud Norris. Speaking of Votto's Reds, Votto on the DL, the Reds with a 10-game winning streak, matching up against the San Diego Padres, and Devin Mesoraco getting into it with Chad Fairchild.
How about that?
And out he goes.
Yeah, he did not like that call. I don't blame him. That looked like a pretty good pitch.
And I think he tapped him on the chest with the baseball. And Dusty Baker finally coming out. The Reds' win streak is in jeopardy. They're down 9-4 to the Padres. But we have more, Rock. There's more.
You know, with the way the strike zones are called these days, I mean, you really have to want to get thrown out of a game to be reacting like that. There's where the tap was. He hit the umpire in the chest protector with the ball. That's going to be a suspension and a fine. Can't do that.
It reminded me of the Yadier Molina incident last year here at Miller Park, the Cardinal catcher.
And particularly coming from a kind of a backup catcher. I mean, you get an opportunity to get in there. The last thing you want to do is get punted early in the ball game. That's what happens. But apparently Chad Fairchild said something that Mesoraco took exception to, and vice versa.
Ball and 2 strikes on Ricky Weeks. That one's hit hard, right center field. Back is Schaefer, and he'll run it down for the out. Had good wood on it, but Weeks flies out to deep right center for the second out of the inning. A reminder that weekdays on Fox Sports Wisconsin, it's the Dan Patrick Show. Don't miss exclusive guests, including high-profile athletes and celebrities, breaking sports news, and unparalleled insider access. The Dan Patrick Show, weekdays at 8 a.m. on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Say another reason why Mesoraco was pretty upset. San Diego's laying one on the Reds 9-4. Maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe that wasn't the first pitch that he felt the umpire had missed, but still no excuse.
It's never the last tap on the rock that breaks it. Lucroy with 2 outs. And strike 1 from Norris.
You're never going to win an argument with an umpire.
Just remember that, BA.
Yeah, we had Bruce Fleming in the booth earlier today, and we lost that argument too. And he's not even umpiring anymore. He threw us out of our own booth today.
Hey, we were talking about that play yesterday where time was called and Cody Ransom wasn't able to score. What do you think he did? Defended the umpires, right?
Yes, he said they had it exactly right.
Matter of fact, I think I tapped him on the chest today.
You made contact with Bruce Fleming?
I might be hearing it from Bud Selig.
Were you in agreement with his explanation? I wasn't privy to that conversation about the play yesterday.
I didn't agree, but I didn't get upset. I felt like I needed to stay in the game.
You didn't say the magic words.
No.
Nice play. Bud Norris underhands it over to first, takes a hit away from Lucroy. 6 up, 6 down for the Astros starter.
Drops down a suicide squeeze. Successful. Lombardozzi apparently off the bag. He's called safe by Tim Welke. Lombardozzi starts to argue. Cody Ransom trickling down the line. And apparently, according to the umpire, somebody called timeout. You saw the home plate umpire, Mike Estabrook, send Ransom back. So you had Ron Renneke arguing with the home plate umpire. You had Davey Johnson running out to first base to argue with Tim Welke, the first base umpire. And then Cody Ransom was getting into it, Laz Diaz. Apparently, according to Bruce Fleming, Laz Diaz called timeout because Davey Johnson on that play at first was running onto the field. And he called time because of that. It wasn't because there was an argument at first base. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. And what makes more sense is that nobody had a bone to pick with second base umpire Paul Schreiber.
Yeah, everybody was arguing, but him.
That was one of those I can't believe what I'm seeing moments. 3 arguments, 3 different umpires, 2 different teams. Brewers would end up scoring that run, but the fact that Davey Johnson just took off onto the field, I guess, halted play.
And everybody that was arguing had a gripe.
That's right.
Lombardozzi was on the bag. Aoki was out. He was called safe. Time shouldn't have been called, in my opinion. Now, according to Bruce, it should have been.
Right.
And according to both the third base and the home plate umpire, time was called. So, end of discussion.
Right. Now, my question was, if there's a runner at second and a ball in the gap, as that guy's coming in to score, if a manager just runs onto the field.
Timeout.
We kid because we care.
And because there's always something in the game. You stick around long enough, you see something you never have seen before.
Right.
Like a ground ball hitting a rosin bag.
I was just going to say
and
that.
Getting a base hit.
That happened. Nori Aoki the other day on Saturday night. Big cut by Schaefer. Astros have dropped Jordan Schaefer down in the order. They tried him in the leadoff spot, but he racked up too many strikeouts. So he hits 8th now. This is a guy that the Astros picked up from the Atlanta Braves. He was part of the Michael Bourne deal. Good block by Lucroy. The count goes 3-2. If you want video proof, this was Saturday night. Aoki at the plate, off the rosin bag.
It would have been an easy double play, all hands safe. Aoki with a base hit.
Jordan Zimmerman couldn't believe it. The bad luck.
Aoki the culprit both times.
As Schaefer draws the walk, so a very tight strike zone tonight. Schaefer is aboard. First walk issued by Estrada. And let's take a look at our carsoup.com email the booth question. Jerry in Milwaukee asks, how will the Astros move to the American League affect scheduling next year? They'll be going into the American League West, so then you'll have 3 5-team divisions in each league, a balanced league, 15 teams in each league. And that means that there will be an interleague series every week, all 26 weeks of the major league schedule. There'll be an interleague series. Schaefer takes off, throw to second, off the glove of his Turris.
That was a good throw by Luke. Not much you could do about that. Shea with great speed, but he just strikes out a little bit too much. Got to get on base to be able to rack up the stolen bases. And a pretty good lead, a decent jump, and a very good throw by Lucroy. And off the glove of Turris, who tried to catch it and slap the tag all in one motion. Would have been out had he had the ball in his glove. Would have been close.
Well, Schaefer, his 26th stolen base. That's 4th in the league. There's a bunt by Norris. And Estrada thought about third. He'll take the short out at first base. Sacrifice for the Astros pitcher at the plate. And the Astros have a runner at third with 1 away.
He gives him the breaking ball. Norris able to drop it down. It would have been close at third base, but you saw Ramirez pointing to first. Get the shore out.
And that'll send the Astros back to the top of the order. And Jose Altuve, who's been an Astros killer this year, had a single in the first inning. He's now hitting .486 against the Brewers this season. 17 hits and 35 at bats. That one's hit well to right center. Aoki is there, but this is plenty deep to score the run. And the Astros take a 2-0 lead. Both runs on sac flies.
And both times a stolen base involved in the run, so the Astros have been able to execute pretty well early on here tonight.
A sac bunt and a sac fly, and it's 2-0 Houston. 2 steals have led to those runs, Altuve and Schaefer. Base is empty with 2 away for Marwin Gonzalez. Astros shortstop. Gonzalez had 3 hits yesterday, drove in 3 runs, including 2 doubles in the win over the Pirates yesterday. A lazy fly ball. Aoki broke back, having to hustle in. That's going to fall. A base hit. Aoki misread that one.
Yeah, off the end of the bat, Gonzalez with the big swing. It fooled Aoki just a little bit. That's all it took. No, he plays pretty deep out there in right field. Plays deep. He took a step over and across and not able to get to it once he made the false step going back.
Ball was in the air a long time. A base hit for Gonzalez. We'll see if he's on the run. Steve Pearce at the plate. Pierce just arriving to the Astros. This is just his 5th at bat. Astros picked him up on waivers from the Orioles on Saturday. Made his debut yesterday.
That's a good organization to try and win a spot. A lot of minor leaguers getting a chance. Guys that haven't been able to stick with other teams.
Pirates had high hopes for Steve Pierce when he came to the big leagues. He was a big prospect in the Pirate system, but they just kept producing prospects that are now surfacing in the big leagues, and no room at the end. Pierce went from the Pirates to the Orioles, and taken off the roster by the Orioles. The Astros picked him up.
Get off to a decent start with the Pirates. They just ran out of opportunities. A lot of young players going through that Pittsburgh Pirates system.
Foul ball. 2-2 on Pierce. Pierce plays college ball at the powerhouse, South Carolina, the Gamecocks. He was long gone before their back-to-back national championships, but part of a great program there, one of the top college programs in the country. Two outs, and Estrada checks on Gonzalez.
And we Clemson Tigers don't discuss the Gamecocks too often.
I thought you were a little silent over there, actually.
Yeah, arch rivals, That has been a good program lately. It really has.
How's Clemson doing these days? What's the state of Clemson baseball?
And regionals, just actually got knocked out by the Gamecocks, unfortunately.
South Carolina lost in the College World Series championship game this year. Runner goes. 2-2 pitch is a strike called. Pierce rung up, and Estrada is through the 3rd. He gives up another run, though. Another sac fly by the Astros. Nigel Morgan will bat when we come back. It's 2-0 Houston. Wisconsin is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. Beautiful sunset on Lake Michigan. Which one of those boats did you take out today, Rock? From your pier.
Yeah, I took the first one and the third one out. Had to mix it up a little bit today.
Liquid hideout. Nice, great look. Great views. Some of the great scenics from around this beautiful city, especially in the summertime. Nigel Morgan leads off 2-0 Astros. Astros scoring both of their runs on sac flies as Morgan beats one into the ground to Altuve. Bud Norris is rolling along here. He's retired 7 straight to start the game with a couple of strikeouts.
And for the most part, he's been doing it with his fastball, and he hasn't really cranked that up yet. Hasn't topped out his velocity. His slider's been so-so, but he threw a pretty good one to Ramirez. Nigel Morgan just grounded out on a slider. Basically a 2-pitch pitcher, Bud Norris. Commands the fastball pretty well, and he's got that real good slider. When it's working, he can be tough. You mentioned that Bud Norris has lost 7 straight decisions. He hasn't won a game since May 21st.
Now that was against the Cubs. He actually had won 4 in a row at that point, 4 consecutive starts. The Brewers were one of those starts in that group of wins in early May. But it's been nothing but L's since. At the time of that last win, Bud Norris was 5-1. He comes into play tonight 5-8.
Yeah. And the Astros have lost 9 in a row. 9 starts for Bud Norris, all losses for the Astros. It's hard to believe with stuff like that.
Big bouncing ball over to short. Marwin Gonzalez can't find the handle, and Cesar Izturis is aboard with an infield hit. That is the first hit.
Yeah, let's see how they call that one. That should be a base hit. That would be a tough play with the speed of Izturis getting down the line to first base. Beats it right into the ground, goes straight up in the air. And Gonzalez knew that he had to charge it quickly. If he laid back, there's no way he would have gotten Izturis at first. And they haven't ruled on it yet.
Still thinking. And that will not be an infield hit. It'll go as an E6. As Marco Estrada tries to drop a bunt down. It's kind of that unwritten rule for official scores. The first one has to be a clean one. Didn't apply at Pittsburgh a few years back in 2008, by the way. The CC Sabathia. But anyway, well, could have gone either way. So
that was going to be a tough play. Even had Gonzalez got that ball in his glove, that would have been a tough throw as fast as he was coming into the infield.
Estrada is 2 for 20 at the plate this year. He's dropped down 1 sac bunt this season. Well, there's a good one. Norris, his only play is first base. A sacrifice bunt for Marco Estrada advances Izturis to second.
Yeah, it's Miller time in the Miller Lite Beer Pen every Friday night at Miller Park. Fans 21 and older can get a Lowe's bleacher ticket and a t-shirt for just $22.
Back to the top of the order, Nori Aoki. Popped out in foul territory his first time up. Nori hit a big home run at the time yesterday, a 9th inning, or rather an 8th inning home run that gave the Brewers the lead, broke a 7-7 tie. Aoki every now and then will flash some power, and we got a pitch from Ryan Matthews he can handle, and out it went. Home run number 6 for Aoki.
And he'll turn on one when he feels as though the time is right. And Gomez hit a shot right after that. Gave the Brewers a 2-run lead in the 9th.
lead that got away. Twice the Brewers let leads get away. And a familiar story. There's a bunt foul, not a bad idea. Scott Moore playing very deep at third base. But the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes now.
Playing around over in the hole and a little bit back, and Hooker tries to get first base. Ordinarily in a situation like this, try and knock one into the outfield, driving a run. Can't drive in a run on a bunt.
Aoki down in the count, 1-2. Missed with a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Norrie with 6 home runs, 23 driven in for the season. Playing the role of a run producer here as he slaps one right to Gonzalez for the out. A little soft liner. Inning is over. The Brewers strand a runner at second.
GMC, the Astros playing some small ball after Altuve singled to lead off the game. Stolen base got the third on an error, and then Steve Pearce drives him in, a fly ball to center field. And in the third inning, a Schaefer walk, another stolen base, and then able to score after a sacrifice bunt on a fly ball by Altuve. So Jose Altuve, the young second baseman for the Houston Astros, involved in both runs so far tonight. And Bud Norris is pitching a pretty good game.
So Marco Estrada down 2-0 as the Astros manufacturing a pair. 3 in the books. We head to the 4th now. And Brett Wallace will lead off. Wallace, JD Martinez, and Scott Moore. First 3 up for Houston. Wallace was the man that the Astros had hoped was going to replace Lance Berkman at first base a couple of years ago. Spent some time in the Cardinals organization, most recently with the Blue Jays. But he hasn't been able to take that mantle just yet. Now getting his chance once again.
Swinging the bat pretty well right now, hitting over 300. And limited at bats, 12 for 37. Pretty good start.
Wallace just called up for today's game. He strikes out. And Marco Estrada with his 3rd K. How about our AT&T trivia tonight? Question: who is the last MLB team to win less than 20 games on the road in a season? less than 20 games on the road. That's not a stat you want to be a part of.
And the Astros have only got 10 road wins, 10-41.
J.D. Martinez takes a strike. Astros avoided a sweep at the hands of the Pirates with a victory yesterday. That was at Minute Maid Park. Snapping a 12-game losing streak. Not much in the Astros minor league system either. They've been trying to rebuild that minor league system. They're under new ownership, cleaning house, and going to start over. And the plan for the Astros is a very similar structure to what the Texas Rangers did a few years back, as Martinez is rung up. Back-to-back strikeouts, and now 3 in a row for Marco Estrada, going back to the 3rd inning.
And you can see Lucroy setting up on the outside corner. That one had plenty of the white of the plate. And Martinez watches it go by.
Scott Moore with 2 away. Reached on a single in the 2nd. He was thrown out trying to steal a base. On the first pitch, over to Hart. And Estrada's there for him. Nice inning for Marco Estrada. Quickly through the Astros order with a couple of strikeouts.
The subject of Brew in the community. The Brewers Community Foundation and the Forest County Potawatomi Foundation present the annual Evening with Hank Aaron. August 29th, Bob Costas will host the event. Proceeds supporting the Hank Aaron Chasing the Dream Foundation, encouraging kids in the Milwaukee area to realize their dreams. For more information, go to brewers.com/BCF. The event includes a photo session with Hank, silent auction, sit-down dinner, and an autographed Hank Aaron Sports Illustrated cover. Not a bad way to spend an evening, guys.
Yeah, Hammered Hank, that is a great night, and the Brewers do it very well every year at that event. And always gracious to return to Milwaukee, Hank Aaron. He loves Milwaukee and Wisconsin. Got his professional baseball start in Wisconsin as Gomez on the first pitch bounces over to Scott Moore for out number 1.
I haven't seen the hammer around here in a while. I think the last time we actually saw Hank was the Selig statue dedication. Last time he was at the ballpark.
That was a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah. He's probably been here, but we haven't run into each other.
He didn't.
Doesn't seek me out.
Yeah, seek you out. No texting you and the hammer.
No. You think Hank Aaron actually texts people? No way.
I don't know. I think he might.
No.
Or he might have people text for him, like you.
Right. That's possible.
Aramis Ramirez with one away comes up empty. Ramirez back in the starting lineup. Hand injuries and hitters are not a good combination. Whoa, a bullet right back to Bud Norris. Man, oh man, that ball was smoked.
That's a heck of a job by Norris. He gets himself in good position to field, but he doesn't catch his ball. The ball catches him and able to hold on. How about that? Right back through the middle. Taking a base hit away from Ramirez. Taking a little walk around the mound, trying to collect his thoughts.
Yeah, that's probably a few memories got brought up. Here's the book. Mark Concannon's. What book is that, Mark?
This is Bushville Wins, a great historical account of the old Braves. Woody, our camera person, an excellent reader with a terrific selection right here, talking about Hammer and Hank. There he is in his youth.
Yeah, I remember the author came on with us. It's a good book as Hart goes into shallow left field, run down by Martinez. So the Brewers go quickly in the fourth. Bud Norris on his game today.
At work, he trails 2-0, and tonight's Tavern of the Game winner, Amado's Restaurant in Watertown. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets. This offer courtesy of the Tavern Liquor Wisconsin and Miller Lite. Amado's. It's not too far from here. I don't think you can get into Amado's with that outfit on.
I don't know. He's looking for a little smooch, and not going to happen without a get up.
No.
To the fifth we go here. 2-0 Astros. By the way, you might notice that there is now a hit on the board. The Cesar Izturis chopper back in the third inning, originally ruled as an error, has been changed to an infield hit. There's a base hit by Carlos Corcoran. So Corcoran singles to start this fifth inning.
I think that's a good decision by the official scorer here at Miller Park. I think that would have been a tough play for Gonzalez. If he gets that ball right away, as hard as he is coming in, it's going to be a tough throw. Tim O'Driscoll, the official scorer.
Oh, it's significant in that it is the only hit for the Brewers at this point. Bud Norris through 4 innings, just the 1 hit allowed. That's the only base runner as well for Milwaukee. Astros with 4 hits now, a lead runner on for Jordan Schaefer. Jordan Schaefer walked, stole a base, and scored a run in the 3rd inning. Astros have been able to manufacture a few here. They've used stolen bases, sac bunts, sac flies. And the way they are going to have to score runs without a big bopper in their batting order.
Both innings that they have been able to score, they put their leadoff hitter on, like they've done here in the 5th.
Schaefer is a tough guy to double up. He runs extremely well. 0-2, and down he goes. Estrada strikes out Jordan Schaefer. That's number 5 for Marco Estrada.
There's a good command of that fastball right on that outside corner, and a little bit too close to take. This time Mark Wegner rings him up.
And we'll see if Bud Norris is up there to bunt with one away. Norris actually handles the bat fairly well. He has 5 hits this year. And he bunts it. That's playable.
That almost hit him.
Yeah. I thought it did hit him the way it rolled out, but apparently not. So that's a sacrifice bunt.
I'll tell you, Norris has been playing with danger tonight. Look at this. That ball would have hit him right in the chest, but he's able to deaden it nicely and get the sacrifice. Ramirez almost hit him with a bullet on the mound. He almost got hit that time.
Must have hit the corner of the plate, the front corner. It shot out toward the mound, but it goes as a sac bunt. Second time Norris has dropped down a sacrifice bunt. And back to the top of the order in Jose Altuve now. This is the last guy you want at the plate with a runner in scoring position if you're the Brewers. All-star second baseman Jose Altuve. It's one of those rare players that goes from the MLB Futures game to the MLB All-Star game in 1 year.
Obviously somebody's getting him out. He is hitting around 300, but the way he hits the Brewers, it's pretty remarkable. Very rarely do the Brewers get him out. He seems to hit the ball hard. I remember a home run that he hit to the opposite field here at Miller Park. You don't think he hits too many of those. He's not a big guy.
He is 5'5", 170 pounds. First time in the big leagues last year at 21 years of age, and a full season this season in the major leagues. Got off to that great start. Remember, in April he was among the league leaders in hitting. Cooled somewhat in the month of July. Last day of the month tomorrow. But moving forward, Altuve is one of the central pieces to the Houston Astros. Obviously, he's one of their more recognizable names now that he's been an All-Star. Not much payroll that the Astros have to worry about after this season. As a matter of fact, the way the roster is now, the highest paid player next year will be Jed Lowry, who's making it $1.5 million.
Wow.
It's a foul ball. Count remains at 0-2. Don't know how aggressive the Astros will be this offseason. Their new owner, Jim Crane, was part of the group that tried to buy the Texas Rangers and has made it public and pretty clear that he wants to model this organization after the Texas Rangers and how they were able to basically do the same thing, strip down their payroll, make some trades, and build themselves into a perennial contender.
Well, they're in about the second year of that program. That's a process that doesn't happen overnight.
I think the biggest difference between the two organizations, the Rangers went into that rebuilding with a very good farm system. The Astros aren't quite there yet, although they've just picked up a number of players. They've been sprinkling in players with all these trades. 5 trades resulting in 13 prospects. So they've been able to add some numbers, and now you wait and see if any of these players hit at the big league level. 2-2 to Altuve. A changeup, and he just did get a piece.
I haven't seen many changeups from Marco Estrada today. It's been fastballs and curveballs.
These are the trades that brought in the haul for the Astros. Started with Carlos Lee on the 4th of July and finished up yesterday Chris Johnson to the Diamondbacks. Trade deadline is tomorrow. I don't know if the Astros have any more pieces to trade at this point. Bouncing ball, Estrada knocks it down and will make the play, and he gets out of the inning. It's a big bat to retire. 2-0 Houston. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Flies in this game as we move to the Brewer half of the 5th inning. Ricky Weeks ready to lead off. A reminder, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Milwaukee Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers. The 5th game of this homestand. It's a 7-game homestand in all. Brewers dropped 3 out of 4 to the Nationals. They're trying to win the opener here against Houston, but trailing 2-0. Winding down the month of July and wrap up tomorrow. Brewers are headed out for a brief 3-game road trip to St. Louis. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then right back here at Miller Park. Bud Norris pitching a gem so far through the first 4 innings. He's only given up 1 hit, and that was an infield hit off the bat of his Turris. Ricky Weeks probably has the best hit ball of the day. He sent one deep to right center. Maybe he or Aramis Ramirez. There hadn't been a whole lot going on offensively for the Brew Crew against Bud Norris so far.
He's located his fastball very well. He's been establishing that pitch since the beginning. At about 93. You see Bud Norris 94, 95. Doesn't appear to have that electric slider yet.
There's a strike. Weeks has the count in his favor. In tight, and ball 4. There's the first blemish for Bud Norris, his first walk. And a man on to start the 5th inning. AT&T trivia. The question was, who is the last MLB team to win less than 20 games on the road this season, or in a season? Astros have only won 10 road games. The Pirates 2 years ago won just 17 road games all year. And look where they are now.
That's amazing, isn't it? And the Pirates on the road this year, 25-27. Pretty good turnaround.
Unbelievable turnaround.
And the best home record in baseball. 33-16.
Lucroy takes strike 1. Yeah, the Pirates start play today 3 back of the Reds in the Central Division. Cincinnati is 61-40, tied with Washington for the best record in the National League and the best records in baseball. Cincinnati is down big early against the San Diego Padres. It's 10-4 San Diego in the bottom of the 5th. Padres trying to snap the Reds' 10-game winning streak. 0-2 on Lucroy. Upstairs. Marty Brennaman still has to shave his head, though.
Yeah, he hadn't done it yet, has he?
Rumor is the Hall of Fame Reds radio announcer said he would shave his head if the the Reds won 10 in a row. They did yesterday, but he has a photo shoot apparently over the next couple of days, and once that's done, he'll shave his head. Weeks takes off. Lucroy pops it foul in the seats. And it'd be one thing if it was, you know, Joe Block who said he would shave his head.
His head's already shaved.
The Brewers radio announcer.
Or me.
I don't know. You got a nice head of hair. See, Joe Block, he could make that threat. But Marty Brennaman's got a nice head of hair.
Apparently Joe has already made that promise to somebody.
Another bet lost. That must be his go-to bet, you think?
Yep.
But if you know Marty Brennaman, he's very particular about his hair. It's a perfect place.
Right. Takes a lot of pride in it.
That silver fox look.
But he's a man of his word, though.
Yeah.
He's going to do it.
It'll come off.
It's just a matter of time. Not an easy thing.
He's building up the drama, though. Everybody's waiting to see it. Two balls, 2 strikes on Lucroy. Bouncing ball to short. Gonzalez to Altuve, and a wide throw. Altuve could hear the thunderous footsteps of Ricky Weeks coming in, and he rushed his throw a little bit. Lucroy saved it first.
No, he had to rush his throw. Ball wouldn't hit all that hard. Throw up the line, and Wallace doing a nice job keeping it in the infield. That ball gets by and might be in the Brewers dugout, and Lucroy would be in scoring position. So Altuve got rid of it quickly, but Ricky was able to break it up.
One gone. Lucroy replaces Weeks at first and Nigel Morgan at the plate. Morgan in his career against Bud Norris is 4 for 11. 364 hitter. Norris got him on a ground out his first time up. It's been a frustrating run for the Brewers. They have lost 8 of their last 9 games. Over their last 7 games, they are averaging over 5 runs a game. And yet they've lost 6 out of those 7. Offense can't be there every night. Offense comes and goes.
Yes, it does.
For the most part, the pitching has been there, the starting pitching. It's been the bullpen, and specifically late inning relief.
Yeah, Ron Renneke very pleased with the way his team in general has played, except for the end of the bullpen. Just hasn't been able to get the job done, and that's been frustrating for everyone, particularly the back end of the bullpen. Those guys probably more frustrated than anyone.
Yeah, bullpen coach Stan Kiles was dismissed today.
And that's what hurts the most. Those guys in the bullpen, I would imagine, feel horrible about that. Every player that has been on a team and has had a coach or a manager fired takes responsibility for it, because it's their performance that ultimately dictates the future of the coaches.
Lee Tunnell not here tonight. He'll be here tomorrow. He's the pitching coordinator for the Brewers in their minor league system. Tyler Thornburg sent down to AAA to stretch out to be a starter, and Mike McClendon now in the Brewers bullpen. So the tweaks continue. One bright spot out in the bullpen has been Jim Henderson, and he figures to get a more prominent role here moving forward. He's had 3 games so far. He's only given up 1 hit, 3 scoreless outings.
And a good snap throw by Corcoran. Remember, Corcoran as a Brewer and in spring training loves to show off that arm.
Lucroy goes. Morgan on the hit and run fouls it back.
Anytime you dismiss a coach like the Brewers have today, kind of sends a wake-up call to the players. Maybe that in itself may get things going. Not that they haven't been trying as much as they can to get the job done. Nobody's saying that, but sometimes a little bit of a shake-up will just do just the trick, and that's, I think, what Stan Kiles said as he left. If it works, then I'm all for it.
Lucroy goes again, and Morgan fouls it back again. John Axford had a new look today. Speaking of haircuts and Marty Brenneman, Axford, the short hair, maybe chopping off some of those locks, some of the bad mojo that's been going on. Give Axford credit. He's been standing up, not making excuses. He knows he's not pitching well. Yesterday was a rough outing for him.
He stands there in front of his locker, answers all the questions until everybody's gone, and he learned that from Trevor Hoffman.
There goes Lucroy, and there's another foul ball. Well, the Brewers are hoping to get Axford back. I think there's probably some mechanical fixes that are ongoing. Brewers aren't sharing that, but Axford was moved into middle relief, and he looked very good in middle relief. Put him back in that closer's role yesterday, and he struggled once again.
Yeah, just hasn't been able to, put the baseball where he wants it. Missed his spot yesterday on Michael Morse. It was supposed to be in, ended up away, and Morse hit it out of the ballpark. The velocity's there, just the location. He's not able to pinpoint his pitches like he did a year ago.
Well, you hope it's one of those things that will catch, and he'll get it back. Jonathan Lucroy getting in plenty of wind sprints. Morgan keeps fouling him off. It's 4 in a row.
And Bud Norris continues to keep that slider up in the strike zone, giving the Brewers a shot at it. When he's got that pitch going, it is a tough pitch to lay off of. He goes down and in with it to lefties.
Brewers down 2-0. Had a leadoff walk in this inning. Lucroy reached on a fielder's choice. Good battle here between Nyjer Morgan and Bud Norris, and a check on Lucroy first. There he goes, and another foul ball. Lucroy says, all right, let's do it again. It's like punishment running back in high school.
Yeah, pitch number 11 coming up.
There's 5 foul balls in a row with Lucroy sprinting away. Let's do it again, Luke. 6 in a row. I have noticed that there wasn't as much passion in the last 3.
It's not getting as close to first base.
Pitch number 12 coming to Nigel Morgan. Lucroy stays put, and ball 4. Wouldn't you know it? Lucroy said, I've had enough. And now he gets to jog to second base. Good battle there for Nigel Morgan. That was some kind of at bat.
Yeah. 12 pitch at bat for Nigel Morgan. He ends up drawing a walk. This time he doesn't go, and Lucroy saying, well done. I get to take it easy over to second base.
Well, if Astros comes up with a base hit, Nigel Morgan might catch Lucroy around the bags. At this point, Astros has the only hit for Milwaukee. That was an infield hit back in the 3rd inning, and it was originally scored as an error.
And I'm sure Tim O'Driscoll, is the official scorer, is hoping that the Brewers are able to get a clean hit pretty quickly here.
Two on, 1 out. Tying run at first. Astros lifts one in the air, shallow left field. Long run Martinez. He's got it for the out. 2 gone.
Now the Reds are coming into Miller Park for a short 3-game homestand. That's August 6th through the 8th. Tickets are going fast and are available at Brewers.com or by calling 902-4000.
So it'll be up to the pitcher, Marco Estrada. 2 outs, 2 on. Estrada has 2 hits this year and 20 at bats. Those hits were extra base hits. And Bud Norris has been doing his homework. Starts him with a breaking ball. Norris racking up a lot of pitches in this inning, mostly courtesy of Nigel Morgan, who saw 12 in his at bat alone. 2 balls and a strike. This will be the 29th coming here in the 5th. Bouncing ball, Altuve backhands it, and the out at second base. Inning over. The Brewers strand a pair, but a long inning for Bud Norris. 2-0 Houston. 2-0 Astros. Only one of those runs earned against Marco Estrada. The Brewers have committed an error in this game that led to the first run, the Lucroy error. But a little small ball by Houston today. Estrada 5 innings, has 5 strikeouts. Offensively, the Brewers have not had much going on against Bud Norris. They did have 2 on last inning, but unable to bring one home. Time now to take a look at our Jimmy John's high-speed delivery. Bud Norris topping out at 95. Estrada at 91. And despite the overpowering fastball, Estrada still racks up the strikeouts. He has been on an impressive strikeout run for Milwaukee. But he does it in the same fashion as Mike Fiers does. He uses good off-speed pitches and located fastballs to get his strikeouts.
And curveballs and changeups. He had a season-high 12 punch-outs against the Reds in Cincinnati. That was back in June.
At 11 Ks against the Pirates here at Miller Park. And Estrada for the season, 71 strikeouts thus far. Striking out better than a batter per inning pitched, as he starts Marwin Gonzalez with strike 1. Gonzalez, one of the 4 Astros hits. He singled in the 3rd inning. Astros hits have all been singles. But they've had 2 stolen bases, 2 sacrifice bunts, and 2 sacrifice flies. Strike 2, Gonzalez.
And Marco Estrada, Mike Fiers, 2 of the big reasons why the Brewers pitching staff leads the National League in strikeouts. Who would have thought?
Right off the end of the bat is Turris, next to the bag. Beautiful play by Cesar Turris. 1 gone in the inning. Well, second-year tight end DJ Williams has displayed sticky hands in camp, they say, as he fights for more playing time. He has some good stories about tipping cows back in Arkansas, Rock. You can read Paul Emick's story about that, foxsportswisconsin.com.
Tipping cows?
Yeah, that's what it said. You ever go cow tipping?
You know what that is?
Oh, I grew up in Texas, man. That was a weekend.
What is it?
Cow tipping?
Yeah.
Well, you wait till they fall asleep, and then you walk them and you push them over. And then you run.
Sounds like fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
As long as you're in the right company.
I didn't know cows slept standing up.
They do sometimes, unless it's going to rain.
Right.
And then they lay down.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Learn something every day here.
Yeah. Surprised. You've got a little bit of a country background.
I grew up in the Garden State, New Jersey. They have cows everywhere there.
Right. Then you went to Clemson?
Never heard of it.
Ah, it's great fun, Rock. Except if that cow is a bull.
Right.
And he's not asleep. And then it's called human tipping.
Right. Goring.
There's a base hit to right. Steve Pearce with a single. Pearce drove in the first run, and now a base hit with 1 away.
That's not something you do with your own cows on your own farm, is it? You break a leg. A good piece of hitting by Pearce and a fastball out her half. He just rips it into right field.
Where I'm from, they actually have signs that have a picture of a cow and a circle around that cow with a line through it.
No cow tipping?
That's it.
Yeah.
It's prohibited in that particular area. But if there's no sign, you're free game at your own risk.
I'm trying to visualize you in a cow pasture. I just can't see it.
Come on, man.
Really?
If you had any idea.
With those
where I grew
$400
up.
shoes on, come on.
Yeah, right. I'm from a small town. Yeah, we had the livestock stables on the south end of our football field in high school. You ever see the movie Varsity Blues?
Yeah.
Well, all the football scenes in that film,
Right.
that was my high school.
Really?
Yeah. Georgetown High School. But when you got the right kind of wind from the livestock stables, which were in the end zone, we had such an advantage on the opponent and all of their fans.
You don't want to be heading down to that end zone.
Visiting band to be taken off in the first quarter. I hear banjos now.
Oh, we got State Fair coming up here in Wisconsin, here in Milwaukee.
That's the smell.
We're going to go, and I want you to tip a cow in there.
Those cows don't go to sleep in there. There's too much activity. But a nice bright moon like tonight, man, that's good sleeping weather. Runner goes. Wallace in the air, left field. That's going to stay in the ballpark. And Morgan makes the play for the second out. You think I'm making this up?
No. Yeah, for just $13 fair Friday packages include one ticket to Friday Brewers games and admission to the 2012 Wisconsin State Fair. Plenty of cows there. That's presented by U.S. Cellular. Visit brewers.com/state fair.
Those are show cows, man. Show cows. Well, that's the kind of sleeping moon right there. There'll be a lot of. It's a good night for cow tipping tonight, Rock.
Friday's a full moon.
Oh, this coming Friday?
August 3rd.
That's not a full moon?
No.
Is that some kind of gibbous moon?
Waxing.
Waxing gibbous? We'll be in St. Louis for the full moon. It'll be a full moon in St. Louis. That's ideal tipping weather. JD Martinez with 2 away. And he pops this one up a mile high. High as the moon. Ramirez makes the catch, and the side is retired. Marco Estrada gives up a hit, but strands him at first. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Presented by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Bud Norris pitching a gem tonight for the Astros. Brewers have been unable to figure him out at this point. He has allowed just one hit, an infield single in the 3rd inning. Gave up a couple of walks in the 5th inning, but stranded him there.
Hey, today's the last day to sign up for the Brewers inaugural mini marathon before the price for entry goes up. The race is set for September 22nd and promises to be unique with its scenic route, giveaways, and post-race tailgate party. All to benefit the MAC Fund. Visit race-brewers.com for more info and to get registered. That's actually race-brewers.com.
Here's Aoki, a little chopper, foul. Aoki, Gomez, and then Aramis Ramirez. Ryan Braun not in the lineup tonight. Blisters on his hands. The official injury report.
Yep, the left hand, the bottom hand, the knob of the bat, digs into that fleshy area on the hand from time to time, and it can get pretty sore.
Ball and 2 strikes on Aoki. Aoki hit a little soft liner to the shortstop in the 3rd inning. That was with 2 outs and a runner at 2nd. When it left the bat, looked like perhaps a run producing hit, but Marwin Gonzalez made the play. Just missed. 2-2. Norris has not won a game since mid-May. One of those wins was against Milwaukee in that stretch as Aoki rips one to right, but that is right at Steve Pearce. And one away as we check in with Mark Concanon.
Well, guys, as we know, Carlos Gomez on a home run tear lately. Ron Renicky says that Carlos swings as hard as he can on every at-bat, whether it's in-game or batting practice. And when his swing is flat, good things happen. When it's an uppercut, not so good. And hitting coach Johnny Naron has been working hard with Carlos to keep the bat flat. Apparently the bat has been flat lately, guys.
Well, what he means by that, keeping it flat, is it stays in the hitting zone a nice long time, and even when he's doesn't have that perfect timing, he's still able to get enough of the bat on the baseball to get a base hit.
First time in his career he has won the Player of the Week. He and Drew Stubbs, co-players of the week in the National League. Drew Stubbs has homered today, hit his 13th for the Reds, so he stays hot. Padres leading the Reds 10-5 in the 6th inning. So far tonight, Gomez is 0 for 2, 2 groundouts. And that one got him right on the hand. Hit by a pitch, but Norris is saying it's a foul ball. And an argument here with home plate umpire Mark Wegner. Brad Mills agrees with his pitcher.
He's saying it hit the knob of the bat. But Mark Wegner adamant about his call that it hit Gomez in the hand. Let's see. Might have hit the bottom of the knob of the bat and the hand at the same time. If that's the case, it's a foul ball.
Oh yeah, definitely got
the hand.
Definitely got his thumb. You can see it.
Didn't even hit the knob of the bat. That was a good call.
To react like that, he'd have to be the greatest actor in the world if it didn't hit him.
Right.
Mine doesn't work that quick.
Nobody's that quick. You're right.
Well, we'll see if Gomez is on the move here. His hands sting, but his legs are intact. Here's Aramis Ramirez. He hit a rocket his last time up, right back to the mound. Norris, in self-defense, made the catch. And you figure Gomez to be on the move here. Has 18 stolen bases. Ramirez takes a ball.
There it is. There's a baseball right there, and clearly getting a piece of the hand, actually the wrist of Gomez, never even near the bat. Good call by the home plate umpire.
On his throwing hand, nonetheless. Good shots from the truck. Now Ramirez trying to get the Brewers going here. The only hit that is Turris' infield hit. Remember, that was originally scored as an error. Later changed to a hit in that inning. One and two, and Gomez so far having a tough time getting a read on Bud Norris.
He got a decent move over to first base. You know, get that spin move, and but what he does is he varies his delivery pretty well. He'll hold the ball, he'll get it quickly, give you a slide step. Gomez with a very good lead, just can't get a jump.
There he goes. Ramirez fouls it away. Ramirez with 12 homers this year, 61 runs batted in. Making a run at the franchise record for doubles. There goes Gomez, and Ramirez fouls that one away.
Yeah, Gomez not getting a very good jump. Hesitating just a little bit to make sure that Bud Norris is going to home plate.
See Gomez on the Powerball home run leaderboard now with 9 homers. That is a career high for Gomez. Braun still leads the league with 28 homers. Not in the batting order tonight. Ramirez is second in the league in doubles with 35. Gomez stays put, bouncing ball to short, up with it Gonzalez, and a wide throw. Gomez safe. Everybody safe.
That's going to be a tough call again for Tim O'Driscoll, the official scorer. No way you get Ramirez at first and does a good throw, get him at second. It probably does, but that was a heck of a play by Gonzalez at short.
That will be an infield hit for Ramos Ramirez. Brad Mills arguing with Wally Bell.
Feeling as though he did have his foot on the bag. Ramirez hooking a fastball down and away. And check out Gonzalez making a good transfer. It was do or die over at second base. You can see clearly Altuve not even close to the bag. Throw pulled him off.
Gomez safe at second, safe and secure. New York Life.
Not sure what Brad Mills was arguing about there. That didn't even look close.
That's a good call by Wally Bell. So the Brewers kind of piecing one together here. A hit batter, an infield hit. And now 2 on with 1 out for Corey Hart. The tying run is aboard. And a good sign that Hart lays off that tough slider from Bud Norris.
Hasn't had his good one tonight, although he's only given up 2 infield hits.
Hart's next home run will be his 20th of the season. Check on Gomez, a close one. Gomez is always a threat to steal third as well. He does that a lot.
Everything he does is takes a lot of attention away from that hitter. Pitcher spends a lot of time worried about Gomez on the bases.
2 on, 1 away. And Hart fouls it back. And a big cut. It's a big spot for the Brewers here in the 6th inning. And you have to wonder about the long inning by Norris in the 5th. A 29-pitch inning in the 5th inning. Nigel Morgan saw 12 pitches in his at-bat. .28 total, I beg your pardon. He's at 15 here with 1 out. 91 total. Another pickoff play. Corey Hart is on a pace for his best home run year. Currently, it's at 31. He had 31 in 2010. He was an all-star that year. That's the year he drove in over 100 runs as well. Sitting on 19. Missed inside. 2-1. With Hart's next home run, it'll be his 5th year of 20 or more homers in a season in his 9 years in the big leagues.
And he hits them in bunches.
Another pickoff play. Altuve trying to squeeze one in there.
Making it easy to keep him close because Altuve is shading way up the middle. That figured Corey Hart to hit a ground ball towards second base. Or at least where the second baseman ordinarily would be playing. A lot of room over there in the hole.
Ramos Ramirez keeping a close eye on Gomez. If he goes, Ramirez goes, and you wonder if Gomez takes off where the throw might go. You figure second base might be the best option. Shift is on for the Astros. And now it's 3-1.
And Gonzalez coming in. Discussion probably talking about all the attention that Bud Norris is paying to Carlos Gomez, and all of a sudden losing a little bit of his command. That was a good pitch.
Nothing Houston. And a 3-1 count on Hart. In the air to right. Over is Steve Pearce toward the wall. Oh, what a catch by Pearce. Gomez will tag and will end up at third base. What a great catch that was.
Yes, it was. He got up against that padding and able to haul it in before it hit the wall. And not much room down there in right field. Corey Hart tried to send one to the opposite field, and check out Pearce climbing that wall and able to grab it right before it hits the wall. Nice play. Battling that padding, battling the window out there and that chain link fence.
Man, that is a great play by Steve Pearce, as if he has played in this ballpark enough to know it. That can be a tricky wall over there. And we see a lot of right fielders on opposing teams shy away from it, but not Pearce, who has a little experience here as a member of the Pirates, but not much. That's the second out. Ricky Weeks now with runners at the corners. Well, those are the kind of plays that just give a ball club life.
Yeah.
Now Weeks trying to turn around the momentum a little bit as Norris can see the light at the end of the tunnel in this inning. Oh, and 2 the count on Weeks.
And the other thing about that play, had Pearce hit that window area and kind of fell and rolled around a little bit, Gomez might have been able to score, but he caught the ball and bounced right off of that wall and got it into the infield. Watch how agile he is in staying on his feet and getting the ball in.
Yeah, that's a good point, because Gomez was ready to go home if need be. 0-2 to Weeks. Got a hanger and he missed it.
And he keeps hanging that slider. He really hasn't had a very good one tonight, but you'd never know it looking at that scoreboard. Been able to get by with a pretty good fastball tonight.
You could see his reaction. He knew he got away with one. Usually those pitches don't come back. Got him. Norris is out of the mess. Brewers put 2 on with 1 out. They cannot score. A great catch from Steve Pearce. 2-0 Astros as we go to the 7th. And both of their runs coming on sacrifice flies. It was Steve Pearce in the first inning. And after Jordan Schaefer reached on a walk, he stole second base. A sacrifice bunt moved him over in the third by the pitcher Norris. And then it was Jose Altuve with a sac fly. That's how the Astros have scored today. And meanwhile, Bud Norris is working on a 2-hit shutout. Both of the hits infield hits. And the starting pitching comparison. The first run that scored against Estrada was an unearned run. It was an error by Lucroy in that inning. But they both count, and the Brewers are down as we get to the late innings now. We head to the 7th. Scott Moore leads off, and he takes a strike from Estrada. That one is hit high and deep right field. That is way back and way gone. Scott Moore, his 5th homer. 2 of those have come against the Brewers this year, and he makes it a 3-0 ball game.
He gets pretty good extension on his swings. And Marco making a mistake with a fastball, and Moore taking advantage of it. Check it out. Look at the location on it. Right down the middle, up in the zone. And now Marco has given up home runs in 10 of 12 starts this year. No doubt about that one.
Up into the second deck.
Picture perfect swing. Ordinarily, you're going to see a picture perfect swing on a home run.
Scott Moore had some big home run years in the minor leagues in the Cubs system. Foul territory. Ramirez will watch it in the seats. Ball and a strike on Corcoran. Well, 2 runs tough enough against Bud Norris. Now it's a 3-run deficit. Looks like Corcoran has changed his swing a little bit. He is open, and right before he releases the swing, he's kind of lays the bat flat.
Making adjustments. He's a very good defensive catcher, and just a matter of whether he's going to be able to hit enough to stay in the big leagues.
That one's hit well right center field, but Aoki is there for out number 1.
You don't see too many switch hitting catchers anymore.
You don't see many switch hitters anymore.
Right. It's kind of a dying breed.
Did you ever try switch hitting?
Nope. No. How about you?
I did one year in high school, but
didn't work out well.
Disastrous results.
From which side of the plate?
I had enough trouble on right-handed. I said I figured I could do just as good left-handed. Kind of the Carlos Villanueva mentality.
Right.
Didn't work.
I
felt so awkward left-handed.
Yeah, my father told me when you get hits every time from right-handed, you can start practicing left-handed.
It's the rare bad advice from old Pete.
In other words, forget it.
Always wanted to be left-handed, though.
Not too late.
Maybe next fantasy camp. I'll try left-handed.
Yeah.
After I blow out my left side, then I'll turn around and swing left-handed. Little flare. Morgan playing shallow anyway. And there's the second out. That was fantasy camp coming, by the way, Rock.
Nice. Still haven't heard back from Dan Plesac. I'm not too happy about it.
The sack man giving you the Heisman.
He is. He's giving me the blow off. I guess I'm going to have to move on.
Is there a deadline for a callback? Or do you keep it open-ended for somebody with the charisma of Dan Plesac?
And it's open-ended until we're full. 12 coaches.
And this is the year at fantasy camp where you go back to honor the 1987 team, right?
Team streak.
Team streak. What were the streaks in 1987?
Well, 13-0 start. Paul Molitor's hitting streak. We also lost 12 in a row in May. That's a bad streak.
Astros just snapped a 12-game losing streak. That's not the streak you're talking about.
That's Nieves no-hitter.
Yeah, a streak of no-hitters.
It's not exactly a streak, but that was one of the highlights of '87. Juan Nieves is coming.
Oh, he'll be a coach.
Teddy Higuera. Jim Gantner down in the field today. We were talking about fantasy camp today. It's going well. Sign-ups are going well. Sign up online at brewers.com/fantasy
camp.
Yeah.
And the Twitter handle is very popular. It's trending very well at Brewers Fan Camp.
Right.
Norris strikes out, and the inning is over. But Scott Moore delivers a long home run against Marco Estrada, his 5th of the year. It's 3-0 Houston. on a 2-hit shutout through the first 6 innings, and the 2 hits, infield hits. Norris for the Astros has not won since a victory over the Chicago Cubs way back on the 21st of May.
And Mud Norris considered a guy that racks up the strikeouts, coming in 108 on 103 in a 3rd innings, and only 3 strikeouts tonight. Really has, oddly enough, been able to do it without his great slider. You really haven't seen too many very good ones, but he's had good command of his fastball so far tonight.
7 consecutive losses. He's made 9 appearances since that 5th win. He was 5-1 at the time. But 7 losses since, and he is in a position to win this one. The Brewers are going to need some late inning magic from their bats. Just 2 hits. Jonathan Lucroy will lead off. Milwaukee at the bottom of their order with Lucroy, Morgan, and Izturis. And if anybody gets on, you'll likely see a pinch hitter for Estrada. Estrada again getting very little run support. His story this year has either been little run support or bullpen breakdowns when he's left with the lead.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to catch a break yet this year.
We mentioned Norris hasn't won since May. Marco Estrada has not won all season. He's 0-4. Way inside. That one slipped out of his hand on a hot night in Milwaukee. Some lopsided scores tonight in the big leagues. Padres lead the Reds 10-5 in the 7th inning.
And look out for the Cubbies. And they're laying one on the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight.
The Cubs leading 13-4 over the Pirates. Anthony Rizzo has hit another home run. That's his 8th. A player the Cubs got from the Padres, originally with the Red Sox. Theo Epstein knows him well, and he is as advertised as Lucroy takes a strike. In the American League, the Angels have beaten the Rangers tonight 15-8. Ton of home runs in that game. 6 home runs in that game. The Angels had 3 of them. Lucroy draws the walk. So a man on for the Brewers.
Yeah, pitch count starting to creep up a little bit on Bud Norris. He's at 105 right now. Little activity out in that Astros bullpen. Pitch count's going to get Bud Norris tonight.
Saw Francisco Cordero, one of the few veteran players that the Astros have. So a base runner to start the inning. Twice the Brewers have had their leadoff man on as Morgan fouls it back. By the way, in that Angels-Rangers game, Kendrys Morales, he had 2 homers from both sides of the plate in the same inning. So there were actually 7 homers in that game, 4 by the Angels. Mike Trout homered, number 17. Morales with 2. Maicer Izturis with his 2nd. Josh Hamilton, number 29. Nelson Cruz and Mike Napoli. But that American League West is tightening up. That's the division the Astros will be headed to next season. Angels pull within 4. Oakland A's are just underway with the Tampa Bay Rays tonight. They're scoreless in the 1st.
And they're the hottest team in that division.
The Athletics could get within 3.5 of the Rangers with a win tonight. What a story. Ball and 2 strikes on Morgan. That one's hit hard, deep right center field. That ball's way back, and it is gone. Nigel Morgan with a 2-run home run out of nowhere. is a home run bat with 2 strikes nonetheless. His 3rd of the year, and the Brewers are right back in it.
Off-speed pitch by Bud Norris, and Nigel Morgan golfed it on out of here. Not a bad pitch. It was down, but right down the middle of the plate. One of those sliders that we've been talking about.
He said, there he is. Tony Plush has arrived on the 30th of July. Quick trip to the mound. Doug Brocail. Quick discussion with Bud Norris. Nigel Morgan rips one into the Astros bullpen in right center. That was unexpected. 2 strikes on Nigel Morgan, and he unloads on one. That's a big moment for the Brewers. Now they're within a run with Cesar Izturis coming up. Still nobody out. Izturis trying to start it all over again at the plate, presented by Wendy's for Izturis tonight. He's 1 for 2. First hit out of the infield for the Brewers tonight. It went over the fence. That one's hit well, right center. And that will shoot the gap. Izturis on his way to second. A double following the home run. 3 consecutive hits to start the inning for the Brew Crew.
And check out the slider. We were talking about that slider all night. It was down, but wasn't in, and Nigel Morgan able to golf it on out of here. That was like a 1-iron off the tee. Well, just jumping off his bat, and the Brewers right back in it.
A quick, compact stroke. Two-run home run for Morgan. 3 straight base runners to start the inning. I beg your pardon. Back-to-back hits. Morgan's homer, the double by Izturis, and now Marco Estrada will be lifted for a pinch hitter. It's going to be Cody Ransom off the bench, and Brad Mills is on his way to the mound. So a pitching change. Bud Norris had a shutout through 6, but it unraveled on him here in the 7th quickly. Still has a chance to win this game, but he'll turn it over to his bullpen now. Looks like Coco Cordero, the former Brewer, coming in. We'll set him up when we come back. And the Brewers within a run now. It's 3-2. Marco Estrada is out. He's just been lifted for a pinch hitter. Estrada goes 7 innings, 3 runs, 2 earned, a walk and 6 strikeouts, and hoping his team has a couple more runs in him in this inning. Perhaps a win for him. A familiar face, one of the few for the Astros. Francisco Cordero, former Brewers closer, is on the pitch for the Astros. They picked him up in a trade with the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that was back on July 20th, and a 10-player trade that brought Cordero, Ben Francisco, who's on the Astros roster, and 4 minor leaguers in exchange for Jay Happ, Brandon Lyon, and David Carpenter. A blockbuster trade. Bunch of guys involved in that, and Cordero now back in the National League.
Got a contract that expires at the end of the year. Finished up a 4-year deal with the Cincinnati Reds last year. Cody Ransom will hit. Nobody out. Tying run at second. 2 runs are in here in the 7th inning. That runner at second belongs to Bud Norris as Ransom pops up a bunt. Easy as it gets for Cordero. That didn't look like a sacrifice attempt by Ransom. He was perhaps trying to bunt for a hit. But a disappointing at bat for Cody Ransom.
Doing what he had to do to get his Turris over to third base. Just drop the barrel of the bat on him, watch the barrel go down, and the ball goes straight up. An easy play for Cordero. His job, no doubt, was to get him to third base.
From one Francisco to another. Rodriguez in the bullpen. There's a tying run. Top of the order, Nori Aoki. Aoki tonight is 0 for 3. Couple of line drive outs. One to the shortstop, the other to right field. Francisco Cordero amassed 60 saves as a Brewer. At 44 in 2007, and until John Axford's 46 last year, that was the single season franchise saves record. Big bouncer over the head of the third baseman Moore. And here comes his Turris, and we are tied. How about that for a base hit? A Tokyo chop.
Just a good approach, just trying to shoot the ball to the opposite field. A couple of base hits like that for the Brewers. First base hit of the game by his Turris, a high chop, but he's short. Beats it right into the ground and over the head of Scott Moore. And into left field. Moore was playing in with the bag, not able to get there, and we're all tied. Just like that.
And Bud Norris will remain winless since May 21st. That run belongs to Bud Norris. Tied at 3. Gomez whistles one. Aoki around second. He'll stop there. Carlos Gomez on fire. Man, that was a violent swing and a violent result. That ball was off the bat in a hurry.
Just out of the reach of Scott Moore once again. This time a line drive. Slider that didn't do a whole lot for Cordero, and he ropes it in the left. Oh, how about the Brew Crew? 2 infield hits going into this inning. And they put together 4.
Started with a walk. Morgan with a 2-run homer. His Turris doubled. Back-to-back singles from Aoki and Gomez. And now Aramis Ramirez can give the Brewers the lead here. 3 runs are in. We're all tied at 3. And more frustration for Bud Norris. Cordero's lost quite a bit off his fastball. When he was on top of his game, he was in the upper 90s with that heater. He would sit comfortably 95, 96, and one of the best sliders around.
lot of times he got very happy with that slider, throwing a lot of them, getting behind an account. Remember in his days with the Brewers doing that. As you mentioned, not the slider that he once had.
Almost got away. Ball and a strike. He's had a good career though, Cordero. Pitched in some big ball games. The year the Reds won the Central Division in 2010, Cordero saved 40 games for Cincinnati. Didn't get an opportunity to save in the postseason that year. The Reds were swept by the Phillies. He's had a 49 save season. Saved 44 for the Brewers in 07. But on the back end of his career now. It's amazing that you could pitch 14 years in the big leagues like Francisco Cordero. He's never pitched in the postseason. His team made it once, but he did not appear.
Right. He had 2 saves this year in Toronto. That arm doesn't last forever.
1-2 on Aramis Ramirez. Little jam shot. That's trouble. That is going to fall. Aoki around third, and he will score. Close play at second with Gomez. Aoki scores the run. The Brewers have the lead.
Right, how about that jump that Aoki got off the bag at second base? I mean, that wasn't a sure thing. To anybody but Nori Aoki, that ball was going to fall, and he took off right away. He knew it, and that wasn't going to be caught. There was a jam shot by Ramirez. Got it up in the air. Martinez playing deep out there, and Aoki knew right away that it wasn't going to be caught, and he scores the go-ahead run.
It's been a 4-run inning. And now Marco Estrada has a chance to win his first if the bullpen can take it the rest of the way. Five hits in the inning, plus a walk. And 3 hits in a row from the top of the order. Corey Hart now as they check on Gomez at second base.
It's amazing how fast it happens, isn't it? As good as he's been throwing all night, talking about Bud Norris, 2 infield hits, that was it. And the Brewers inning got started with a walk.
This is a prime spot to run for Gomez. Cordero takes a little while to unload it. Just 1 out. Again, they check on Gomez. Close play. Livan Hernandez looks like he's preparing for the 8th inning. 4-3. The Brewers have the lead. 4 runs in the 7th. And Hart lays off a slider.
And once the Brewers took the lead, they sat down Francisco Cordero and got up Livan Hernandez.
Runners go. And a strike is called. The throw goes to second. Safe is the call. Ramirez snuck under there. A double steal.
And had a very good throw back there by Corcoran. Very high. If he gets it anywhere close, Ramirez is going to be out. I think I said Cordero sat down. It's Rodriguez sat down in that Brewers bullpen. Good throw, and Ramirez isn't out at second base, but he makes it in. A double steal. Number 5 for Aramis.
And number 19 for Gomez, which leads the ball club. And with runners in scoring position now, Brad Mills has seen enough.
Coming out on a 1-1 count with 1 out. Ordinarily not a spot where you would think he would make a pitching change.
Maybe talking a little strategy here with a base open at first. Reiner Cruz in the bullpen for Houston. So Mills will stick with Cordero. The Brewers have taken the lead in the 7th. And they will walk Corey Hart.
Set up the double play and try and get out of this mess with only a 1-run deficit.
So the bases are loaded. And here comes Ricky Weeks, the 9th batter of the inning for the Brewers. Gomez, Ramirez, and Hart on the bags. And Weeks a chance to deliver a big blow to the Astros. Him out of there.
Ricky doing a nice job getting his head out of the way of that one, boy.
There's Gomez at third base. Stole third. Ramirez stole second, which led to the intentional walk of Hart. Bases loaded. The 2-0 count and a shot to short. Gonzalez to Altuve. The throw to first. He's in time. A double play. And the inning is over. The Brewers had bases loaded, 1 out. But they were able to score 4. And they take the lead 4-3 as we go to the 8th. And a chance for Marco Estrada to win a ball game here tonight. Nigel Morgan, a big 2-run homer. First of a 3-game series with Houston. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. We're back at it tomorrow, 6:30 for Brewers Live, and then Wednesday is a day game, a matinee here at Miller Park. 12:30 is airtime. A day off Thursday, a 3-game series in St. Louis beginning Friday. We'll have all those games on Fox Sports Wisconsin until Sunday night. Defensive changes here. Ransom, who pinch hit in the bottom of the 7th, will stay in to play second base. And Livan Hernandez will take over on the mound. And Ron Renicky must have designs on using Hernandez for a couple of innings. He normally doesn't double switch unless he wants multiple innings from the mound. We'll see how he goes here.
Well, that and the fact that he's really only got 2 extra players on his bench. Ishikawa, Maldonado. Braun probably not available, but you don't know. That's one way to eliminate having to use a pinch hitter.
Livan Hernandez pitching in the 8th inning with a lead for the Milwaukee Brewers. That would have lost you a bet just a couple of weeks ago. But he's been very good. Hernandez throwing strikes, baffling hitters as he does.
And that's the key to Ron Renicky. He wants guys that are going to come out of that bullpen pounding the strike zone, not walking batters. Problems that the Brewers bullpen has had. Walks have been involved.
A base hit for Altuve. Well, he waited back nicely on that slow breaking ball. Delivers one to right field, his second hit. And there's the tying run at first. The text question tonight, courtesy of Ho-Chunk Gaming. Rock, how common is it to see Brewers teams with 8 pitchers in their bullpen? Fred and Rice Lake.
Not common at all, but the struggles that the bullpen has had, and got to try to find somebody that's going to be able to come in there and get the job done. Mike McClendon right now is the newest member of the Brewers pen. What happens when you have 8 relievers out there? You're shorting your bench. The Brewers only have 4 on the bench to start play. It's about the 3rd day of that.
Brewers may change, as you saw Mike McClendon down in that bullpen. He was just brought back up today. Tyler Thornburg sent down. So McClendon is a fresh arm. And no bullpen coach tonight. Marcus Hanel, the bullpen catcher. And maybe K-Rod is assuming the bullpen coaching duties after he was sat down when the Brewers took the lead.
Actually, the Brewers went to 8 relievers when they came home from Philadelphia. So it's the 5th day.
Eight only a number. For a while there, Thornburg wasn't available. We found out today that Manny Parra has not been available the last couple of games. There's a bunt. It's a good one. Hernandez will calmly make the play. Sacrifice bunt. You don't see teams normally play for the tie on the road, but
I'm going to say
that was an interesting play here for,
especially with the top of the order up,
for Brad Mills, right? So the runner at second now.
Maybe the bottom of the order you might see them do that, but you've got the number 2 hitter up and 3 and 4 behind him.
Giving Hernandez an out.
Well, normally you play for the win on the road, the tie at home. Not the case with the Astros.
So the tying run at second in the speedy Altuve, and here is Steve Pearce. He's had quite a game today. Had a sac fly, an RBI in the first. He had a hit in the 6th and made a great catch, crashing up against the wall in right field in foul territory. And that might have snuffed out a rally as the Brewers were threatening in that inning with 2 on. He robbed Corey Hart. It would have been a foul ball. But instead it was a catch and an out, and Bud Norris ended up getting out of that 6th inning. All 4 runs for the Brewers coming last inning in the bottom of the 7th. .69-mile-an-hour spinner from Hernandez.
And Steve Pearce just a little bit out in front. Can't ask for better speed on the bases. For the Astros, Altuve, he runs pretty well. Brewers outfield relatively shallow out there, except for Corey Hart.
So cue shot, another slow breaking ball for Hernandez.
Except for Aoki, I should say.
Gomez has the best arm in center field. But Aoki the most accurate. Aoki threw out a base runner in the Washington series. He gunned down Michael Morse on Saturday night. 2-2. Tying run at second for the Astros as we play in the 8th. And a line drive right field. That's down, a base hit. And this game is all tied up. Pierce on his way to second. It's an RBI double. And another lead lost in the late innings for the Brewers.
I tried to sneak the fastball by him that time, got it up in the strike zone, and Pierce doing a nice job going right with it. Tried to tail that one back in the corner, got it up a little bit too much, and because he didn't try and pull the baseball, it goes right with it down the right field line. And once again, we're all tied up.
Brewers just cannot get to the finish line with their bullpen. Now the go-ahead run at second. Pierce with his second RBI on his second hit. Ball and a strike. Brewers now have 21 blown saves. Technically a blown save even here in the 8th inning.
Yep, they all count.
And Marco Estrada will remain winless. Brett Wallace is hitless tonight. All 3 at-bats against Estrada. He had a strikeout in the 4th inning. Hernandez trying to keep the go-ahead run on the base paths. And strike 3 called. Wallace is rung up. Livan Hernandez snuck a fastball by him.
Yeah, looking for something else. That ball right down the middle of the plate. Wow. There it is. He looks where he holds it right there. Brett Wallace apparently looking for a curveball or something. Dangerous to be guessing with 2 strikes.
J.D. Martinez, the Astros' best RBI man at the plate. Martinez with 53 runs batted in. And you figure Hernandez will be very careful with him here. Hernandez is careful with everyone.
Well, you got Scott Moore on deck. We've seen he's got plenty of power. Plus the guy on deck's a left-handed batter.
There's a strike. Brewers get 4 in the bottom of the 7th. Astros immediately tied up in the 8th. Oh, for a scoreless inning in late innings. Haven't had many.
You can see Ron Reddick just grinding, trying to find a way to get to the end of a game. Using anybody to get through the 8th and 9th inning.
That one missed barely. And Rick Kranitz is on his way out.
And big curveball and a 3-1 count. And just missing the edge. Not going to get a swing on that on a 3-1 pitch. Guy looking for a fastball.
A big left-handed power bat at the plate. Scott Moore. Won't be fooled by his big league numbers. He hit his 5th home run back in the 7th inning. He's hit 2 against the Brewers this year. An example of a guy who did all he could do in the minor leagues. He regularly hit 20 or more homers in the minor leagues. And now getting his chance with the very young Astros. Two on, 2 out. All tied at 4. Well, you think back to the bottom of the 7th. Yes, the Brewers did score 4 runs, but remember, they had the bases loaded with 1 out. Ricky Weeks bounced into the double play to end the inning. And the Astros quickly erased that deficit. That was a big play, and Cordero getting Weeks on the 6-4-3 double play.
They got him out on the end of the bat on a slider, and that's exactly what he was looking to do. Get Ricky to pull one, and he did.
In the air to right field. Aoki going back, and he will have just enough room. Close call. Game still tied. Bottom of the 8th. Brewers coming up.
Lucroy and Morgan are up this inning as well. And Morgan, a huge home run.
Oh, and hopefully they can get it started. It was a huge home run. And, you know, with Ryan Braun out of the lineup, they needed a little run production. Very slow, but Niger got a pitch that was down in his zone and drove it deep to put, at that time, the Brewers down by 1.
Well, Houston comes back to tie the ball game up, so maybe some late heroics by the home team here tonight. We'll cover it all. Brewers Live postgame after the game, Brian.
All right, Craig and Davey, thank you. And Nigel Morgan ready to hit next. Lucroy will start it. Francisco Cordero back on the mound, and he deals Lucroy strike 1. Lucroy in the left field, a base hit. Over to cut it off Martinez. Lucroy is going to challenge him to throw to second. And Lucroy is safe at second. A hustle double somehow. Lucroy got a hand in there.
Yeah, Brewers have been getting all the calls here tonight. Well, Brad Mills, it looked as though that ball beat Jonathan Lucroy. Now Wally Bell out there at second base was right on it. Had a good angle on it. Apparently saying that Altuve never got him and Lucroy able to get in there. Kind of a risky play by Jonathan Lucroy leading off an inning. Look at Martinez. Good throw into second base, and check it out. Yep, he did get in there. That's a nice call by Wally Bell. Look at Lucroy all fired up. Yep, clearly. And Wally Bell right on top of it. Nice call.
Well, that is a very good call. Great positioning by the umpire.
And check out Lucroy sliding to the back edge of the bag, making that tag a little bit longer. And had Altuve stayed on the bag and kept the glove on Lucroy, he would have been out.
That is a big play. Lucroy with a great slide. Wally Bell will make the call to the bullpen. A hustle double to start the 8th, and Brad Mills will make a pitching change. We'll take a break. Go ahead run at second in scoring position. How he avoided that tag on a great slide by Lucroy.
Said, you know you didn't tag me in time. You know I got under there, didn't you?
A hustle double for Lucroy. That's a big play now because he's at second with nobody out. And Brad Mills forced to go back to his bullpen. Xavier Cedeno is on the pitch. And he'll face the left-handed hitting Nigel Morgan.
And he was called up on Wednesday to take the roster spot of Wandy Rodriguez, who was traded. He was 2-0 and a .228 earned run average in 22 games with the Red Hawks this year. This is the second time he's been with the Astros.
Well, the Brewers all tied up. Morgan delivered a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 7th inning. That was a big hit. Got a chance to put the Brewers back on top. He bunts and bunts it foul.
Got to get it down. It'd be nice to get Lucroy over to third base. Less than 2 outs. You got the bottom of the order up. Brewers a bit thin on the bench.
Nigel Morgan has 6 sacrifice bunts this year, second only to Nori Aoki, who has 7. A familiar spot for him, especially late in games against a lefty. And obviously Ryan Braun is not available here tonight. This would be a spot for Braun normally. Ryan Braun not in the starting lineup. A blister on his left hand, preventing him from swinging the bat. Two and one on Morgan. Xavier Cedeno in for Francisco Cordero.
Yep, the rookie Cedeno, the only Astro on the roster on the pitching staff with a save for the Astros this year. Everybody else traded away.
Brandon Lyon, Brett Myers, 2 pitchers that Brad Mills uses at the back of his bullpen. Morgan gets a bunt down, back to the mound. They'll go to third. The throw is late. Oh, what a poor decision by Cedeno. No chance to get it out, and now the Brewers have runners at the corners and nobody out.
Well, you have to be sure you make a throw over to third base on the tag play. It wasn't a force. And not even close over there, so nobody out. Nigel Morgan able to bunt the baseball. He'll be credited with a sacrifice and a fielder's choice. Even a force out, it would have been close.
Yep. And so a mental error by Cedeno, and Brad Mills back out to the mound.
How about the base running of Lucroy in this inning? Pretty good.
A hustle double. Gets to third on the bunt. Got Cesar Izturis coming up. Izturis is a switch hitter. And you know Brad Mills is discussing the squeeze bunt possibilities here.
Let's see if the Astros bring the infield in. They might bring the infield in. Try and cut down that run at third base. Going over strategy, talking about a lot of different things, and I would imagine the squeeze bunt is one of the potential things that he's looking to protect. It's tough to defend a good squeeze. Not much you can do about it unless you pitch out.
Izturis taking the signs from Ed Cedar. First and third, nobody out. Izturis swinging away, and he pops it foul and out of play. It has to be playing in the mind of Ron Renneke that because the bullpen has struggled so much, you may need more than one to win this game.
And there's nobody getting loose in the Brewers bullpen, so it looks like it's going to be Livan Hernandez inning.
Typically in a first and third situation, if there is a squeeze bunt on, it's the safety squeeze where the runner at third makes sure the ball is down before he runs. It's worked well for the Brewers this year.
If you're going to do that, bunt it toward first base. First baseman's holding the runner.
Astros with their corners tight. Middle infielders are halfway. And a check on Morgan. The other part of this, Morgan is a stolen base threat. He runs well. Still trying to figure the move of Cedeno. He's had a couple of lobs over to first base, so he certainly hasn't shown his best move yet.
And with the infield in, it's very difficult to get a runner at second base.
Turris, a little cue shot, works just like a bunt. Here's Lucroy, and he's in there. Everybody's safe.
How about Luke?
A swinging bunt and great base running by Jonathan Lucroy.
Well, that's outstanding by Lucroy in this inning. Getting to second, getting to third, and scoring on a swinging bunt. How about that RBI for Cesar's Turris? That's a heck of a job by the Brewers catcher right there, folks. Check this out. Big secondary lead by Lucroy. He saw it right away, and he's able to score. That'll be an RBI for his Turris and probably an error on the pitcher. Maybe a base hit. Well, good job by Lucroy. Great base running.
His Turris has to smile at that one. Brewers take the lead 5-4. Even when Renicky didn't want a squeeze bunt, he got it. A swinging bunt. That'll be a base hit. Second infield hit of the night for his Turris. He has a 3-hit game tonight. And now the Brewers looking for more. Cody Ransom, who entered the game as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning, last inning, back for the second time, and again he's bunting.
Opportunity to bunt again. How often does that happen, right?
And if you're wondering who's going to have the 9th inning, the bullpen is quiet. Well, Renicky is going to give the ball to Livan Hernandez.
Yeah, making a statement out to that bullpen right now.
Hernandez gave up a run in the top of the 8th, surrendering the lead. Ransom sends one deep to left center, and gone. Cody Ransom, a 3-run home run. Number 9 of the year for Ransom. And the Brewers have an 8-4 lead.
Brewers with 8 runs in the last 2 innings after being shut down pretty well by Bud Norris. Well, Nigel Morgan and Cody Ransom with home runs tonight. And still nobody out.
Started with a hustle double by Lucroy. Morgan reached on a fielder's choice. An infield hit, now a 3-run homer. Ransom squared to bunt on the first pitch. Not bunting on the second one, and he launches one into the Brewer bullpen. Some well-deserved smiles in that Brewers dugout. 8-4 as we play in the bottom of the 8th. It's a game of redemption, isn't it? Ransom is last time up, trying to bunt the runners over as Aoki hits one sharply to Altuve. Nice play for the first out. Ransom popped a bunt up for an out in the 7th. Frustrating at bat. He comes back in the 8th and deposits one into the bullpen.
Fastball straight as a string, and he knew it as soon as he hit it. Good extension and gives the Brewers a cushion in the ninth.
Long gone. As Carlos Gomez takes a ball. For Cody Ransom, that's his 5th home run as a Brewer. First 4 as an Arizona Diamondback.
Got some pop in that bat, doesn't he? Tell you, talk to Ransom after the game, he's going to still be upset about popping up that bunt. That's the way players are. It's all well and good I hit the home run, but the team needed me to drop down a bunt. I popped it up. I didn't get my job done. That's what he's going to be upset about. It's kind of mentality that you have to get to this level. Expect perfection. You don't always have it. You don't always get it, but you expect it of yourself.
Cue shot. Foul by Gomez.
Matter of fact, very rarely do you get perfection.
It's a game of failure.
Yep. Can't hang your head, that's for sure. And he didn't.
One gone, 2-2 the count on Gomez. Shortstop Gonzalez. Long throw in time. Nice play by Marwin Gonzalez.
Had a good arm. Backhand pickup and knew he had to get a strong throw over to first base with Gomez running. Put a little extra on it.
Two outs for Ramirez now. Aramis with a 2-hit game. He's 2 for 4. Drove in a run in the 7th inning. Has a stolen base tonight as well. Cody Ransom giving the Brewers some cushion here, and they'll take it. And it looks like Livan Hernandez will be headed out for the night to try to save his own victory. Gave up the lead in the 8th. Now a chance to be the winner. Ramirez drove in his 62nd run of the season on a little flare single back in the 7th inning. That gave the Brewers the lead at the time. Drove in Nori Aoki. And Ramirez strikes out. Inning over. A productive one, though. The Brewers put 4 on the board in the 7th, 4 more in the 8th. And Cody Ransom capping it off with a 3-run shot. giving the Brewers some insurance here as we head to the ninth. Time now for our AT&T Uverse Reverse Replay. Ransom failing to get a bunt down in the 7th inning. Nothing worse for a hitter than that on the first pitch, but redemption at its best. Answers with a 3-run home run, and he bunted on the first offering. Showed bunt anyway. And belts his 9th homer of the year. And now Livan Hernandez trying to secure those elusive 3 outs for the Brewer bullpen. Eight to 4, the Brewers have the lead. Hernandez in a spot to win this game. But those last 3 outs have been the trouble outs for the Brewers lately. As Hernandez deals a strike. 2-1 to Carlos Corcoran. On a day when the Brewers dismiss their bullpen coach. Some serious role reversals here. While the Brewers were trailing, Francisco Rodriguez was warming up. Once the Brewers took the lead, K-Rod sat down. Livan Hernandez got up and essentially pitched in a setup role, but because of the double switch, he was probably going to be asked to go the last 6 outs anyway. Popped him up, had him out in front of a changeup as Ramirez squeezes the out. 1 gone in the 9th.
Well, you certainly don't want to speak for the Brewers manager, but it appears that he's making a statement to his bullpen saying, if the guys that I thought were going to get it done for me are not doing it, I'm going to find somebody that's going to. Livan Hernandez is certainly a guy that throws under hitting speed and throws strikes. Give him an opportunity. And he's 2 outs away from being right.
Amazing what a difference a year makes. Last year the Brewers, K-Rod and Axford finishing games as good as it gets in baseball. And those are the 2 that helped the Brewers to the division title.
Well, no doubt. Without those 2, the Brewers wouldn't have been to the postseason.
He wouldn't even bat an eye with an 8-4 lead in the 9th inning at this time last year. But it can change in a hurry, and it can swing back the other way in a hurry as well. So I think the most important thing for Ron Renicky and Rick Kranitz is to try to get Axford back together, try to get K-Rod back together. This is the bullpen catcher. Marcus Hanel answers the phone. And it's going to be Cameron Lowe to start to get loose. Three and 1 to Logan Schaefer. Ball 4. So Schaefer is aboard. And a pinch hitter coming on for the Astros, Brian Bogusevic. He's been their best pinch hitter this year. He's 5 for 15 in a pinch hitting role. The Brewers will not hold Schaefer at first base. Back Corey Hart deep at first base, trying to protect that hole a little bit.
Cover as much ground as you can, maybe get a double play, but you figure Schaefer to be moving towards second here presently, just for that reason, to stay out of the double play.
As Cameron Lowe continues to loosen up. There goes Schaefer, and there's strike 1 to Bogusevic. Fielder's indifference, defensive indifference. How you score Schaefer to second base. Another spinner in there for a strike. 1-2 the count.
That pitch is in the 70s, low 80s for Livan Hernandez, and awfully difficult to wait back on those pitches at that velocity. That's why he's been so successful throughout his career. Never has been considered a hard thrower, especially now. He gets to 88. That's getting it up there pretty good.
You said he pitches under hitting speed. What's the parameters of hitting speed?
Mid-80s. Yeah, throws about mid-80s. You start flipping up curveballs in the 70s and 60s. I mean, that's under hitting speed. You're tapping your fastball out at 85, 86.
And a bouncing ball through for a base hit. And this will bring in a run. So the lead is down to 3. Bogusevic with a pinch hit RBI single.
Tying run on deck. It's never easy.
And Renicky is on his way out. Making an old man out of the manager quickly. So Hernandez is out. Gives up a couple of runs here tonight. And an inning and a third. And Cameron Lowe will get the chance to try to put this one away. We'll take a break. Here tonight, the Brewers had a 4-run lead to start the inning. A run is in on an RBI single. Columbia St. Mary save tracker. The number 2 you see there, the number of career saves for Cameron Lowe. He had one with the Rangers back in 05. Had one last year with the Brewers. Not a whole lot of experience in that role. But that's the way it's going for the Brewers bullpen. Somebody's got to break this slump.
Yep. Well, he retired a couple of batters in yesterday's ball game to strand 3 inherited runners in the 11th inning. That included a strikeout. He's got a good earned run average over his last 11 appearances. Only 2 earned runs in 9 2/3. He's 2 outs here in the 9th.
Last save against the Washington Nationals last season. Jose Altuve leads off. No, the leadoff hitter, I should say, bats with 1 out. Altuve with 2 hits, has an RBI. He scored twice, has a stolen base. In tight, almost hit him. The Brewers bullpen giving up an alarming amount of runs late in games. And it's 3 balls and no strikes on Altuve.
And a lot of it because they can't throw strikes. Walking batters.
Walked him 4 straight. And the tying run is coming up. And Rick Cranitz back to the phone. Ron Renicky is on his way out with purpose. Axford started to get loose. There's enough talent in that bullpen.
Not often you see, not often you see that manager go out and have a discussion with a pitcher, but not sure what he said, but I'm sure he made his point very quickly. But you're right about the talent in that bullpen
at this point.
Yep.
The new look John Axford after the haircut. So it's going to be Justin Maxwell. He's got a lot of power. Just getting started in the big leagues. Has just 1 homer in the big leagues this year. He was a home run hitter in the minor leagues. 5 straight balls delivered by Lowe. I think Maxwell still has the longest home run hit this year. He or Cameron Maben. It was back and forth between those two. Tying run at the plate. Brewers need a ground ball, turn a double play, and get out of here. Oh, that is a big hack. 1-1.
Man, just keep the ball down, get the ground ball, and end this baby.
Two and 1. Cameron Maben has the longest home run of the year in the big leagues. He hit one 485 feet. But Maxwell's second. He hit one 471 feet earlier this season. That was his lone homer. Or one of his 10 homers, I beg your pardon. Three balls and a strike. This will be Lowe's last hitter. Full count.
Now after ball 4. Did him a favor that time.
Brewers had a 4-run lead yesterday going into the 8th inning. The Nationals tied it. And then had a 2-run lead in the 9th. Nationals tied it and then eventually won the game. 3-2 pitch. Count stays at 3-2. Cameron Lowe, a ground ball pitcher. Could use one here. One away. Tying run at the plate. After the Brewers scored 4 in the bottom of the 8th to take an 8-4 lead. Brian Bogusevic with an RBI single, a pinch hit RBI single to bring him within 3. And a ground ball, base hit. It's going to bring another run in. Maxwell racing to second with a double.
And the tying run at second now. Wow.
It's 8-6.
Amazing. got the sinker out over the plate, got his ground ball, but with the shift, he's able to find the hole up the middle. 1 run in, and Maxwell able to get into second base. Now a base hit ties it.
Ron Renicky will try another one. He sees a walk and a double. And the Astros are within 2 now. They have the tying run at second base. John Axford comes out to his familiar song, and Axford trying to pick up the save. The new look, John Axford.
A rough outing in yesterday's ball game. Got his 7th blown save in yesterday's ball game. It's an inning and 2/3. Gave up 3 runs.
So Axford to face Steve Pearce. Pearce tied it in the 8th inning with a base hit off Hernandez, a double. Maxwell has great speed at second base. Anything hit to the outfield, and this one is going to be all tied up. Somewhere, somebody has to turn it for the Brewers in the bullpen.
And the difference maker for John Axford just has not been there this year. That curveball. Back-to-back curveballs to Steve Pearce, and he falls behind 2-0.
Pearce just acquired by the Astros, picked up off waivers. Made his first start yesterday. Had a big night tonight for the Astros with 2 RBIs, 2 hits, had a sac fly. Made a great catch in right field in foul territory. 2 balls and a strike. 1 gone in the 9th. And Pearce in the air to right field. Back is Aoki with room. This will bring it a run, but the second out is recorded. It is a 1-run game. 8-7 Milwaukee.
Well, Pearce didn't miss that one by much. Just got under it enough to stay in the ballpark, and John Axford 1 out away. Well, just missed that one.
Two gone, and Brett Wallace the batter. There is the tying run. Justin Maxwell, after he drove in a pair with a double. Not a big cut. Laid on the fastball. It's 0-1. like he started with Livan Hernandez, hoping he could finish it. Cameron Lowe is next. Now Axford, and Wallace is drilled. Brad Wallace hit by a pitch to put the go-ahead run aboard. And now the Astros' top run producer, J.D. Martinez, will come in, and here comes Rick Kranitz. I mean, what do you even say at this point?
Right. It looked like Axford wanted to come inside and missed badly. Didn't want to miss out over the plate. So the go-ahead run now at first base for Houston. Wallace never had a chance to get out of the way of that one. Hit him in a good spot, though.
All right, so Kranitz has had his say. And Axford will face J.D. Martinez. Tying run at third. Go ahead run at first. We're in the ninth. Martinez takes a strike.
Well, if you're John Lucroy, you call that curveball, better block it. Axford's got to keep it down. If it ends up in the dirt, keep it in front.
It was a wild pitch yesterday that allowed the Nationals to tie it. And a bouncing ball. That's diving stop. Is Turris thrown to first. Time for the out. And the ball game is over. 8-7. The Brewers win on a very close call at first base. It looked like Martinez had it beaten.
Well, the Brewers got every call tonight. Wow, that was close. Goodness.
It was a great play by his Turris. But a bang play at first base. The Astros are livid. And let's take a look.
Nice pick by Corey Hart. Bang, and I'll tell you, replay. Hard to tell. But he got the call. That's a heck of a play by his Turris. And a heck of a play by Corey Hart to end this ball game. Yeah, he's out.
He got it right.
That's a good call.
Brian Knight, tip your hat to the first base umpire. A lot of close calls tonight. The Brewers will take it. They win it. They finish it off. An 8-7 victory as Axford picks up the save. Much more still to come. Craig Deshawn, what do you have on Brewers Live?
Time to exhale. That's what we've got out here for the next 30 minutes coming up. Brewers Live. It's about